Welcome to Harmonizing Hormones, Mat Movement. Settling in a standing position, easy through the shoulders, the arms, the knees, the feet. Placing the fingers and placing them on top of the head. Imagining here inside the brain a very small cone-like gland, the pineal gland. Bringing the hands now in a prayer-like position and the thumbs to the forehead. Imagining into the brain again, very small gland, the pituitary gland. More round in shape. Taking the hands with light fingertips to the throat. Here we have the thyroid gland. Traveling down just above the heart. Again, light fingertips. We'll keep the elbows in line. The thymus gland. The hands now traveling down to the solar plex area, one hand on top of the other, and to the left side, under the stomach, you have the pancreas. The pancreas is both an organ and a gland. And we're focusing on the gland aspect. We're taking the hands now a little lower, in fact below the navel, to connect in with the sense of the reproductive glands. So the ovaries in women, the testes in men. And then we're bringing the hands just above the kidneys. However you want to place them, either the back or the front of the hands. And here we have the adrenal glands. And they will connect us right down to the pubis bones, the tailbone, to the root of the torso. Here we're softening the knees and the tailbone a little further back, a little further forward. You're rocking between the two and just finding undulations through the spine around which the glands are organized. Take a pause. We have traveled down through the glands. We're now going to travel up and we're going to look at the hormones. Not all of them, but some of the ones that they release. So back to the adrenals, and this time giving them a rub, feeling their power at the back. So one of the hormones they release is adrenaline. How we respond in survival stress situations. We're bringing the arms up, creating fists, and having a sense of fight. Coming out of this, and now having a sense of flight. And I'm doing this by lifting one heel and then the other and having a sense of moving quickly away from something. We'll let that settle. Another response might be to freeze. So I'm going to tense everything up. So you become rigid, freezing, holding, trying to be invisible. And then releasing all of that, shaking out the unnecessary tension, because we don't need it any longer. So a natural way of releasing stress. So coming now to the reproductive glands. We're going to have the left hand on top of the right. We're going to take the legs a little wider. We're softening the knees and we are circling to the left first. So the hormones that are released here for women, one of them is estrogen. For men, it's testosterone. I'm going to open to the side, so the energy coming from these glands then we're taking the right leg, we're bringing it out a bit, we're turning to the left and coming into our triangle. So you might have the hand quite high up, it might be lower down. We come back. I'm going to repeat it all on the other side, but this time the right hand is on top. We soften the knees, circle to the right. We open the arm. We take the left leg back a little, turn to the right, and find our triangle. We come back up. And we're coming a little higher up now to the pancreas. So a little to the left. The hormones here are glycogen, which stops the blood sugar levels going too low, and insulin, which stops the blood level sugars going too high. We're turning a little to the left. The arms come out. We are twisting. So you might stay here. You might take what is now the front arm down. You might come even lower. So you have a reverse triangle wherever it suits you. We're taking the top arm down. We're taking the back leg out a bit. You could drop the knee, or you can keep it up, and then we're twisting. So the pancreas in the solar plexus likes lots of twists. We come back down. And we're just going to come round to the center. We have a wide position. You might stay quite high. The hands might come lower. Some of you might even be able to bring the head down. Then we're pushing the hands up, rolling up. And coming to the other side. So we are turning, we are rotating. We might stay here. We might come into the reverse triangle, high or low. Then the top arm comes down, the back leg slides back a bit. You might keep it lengthened, you might bend it down and come into a twist. That hand comes down. We're going to hop back in and roll up. So we have a flow now that brings in these 3 glands and connects them with the upper 4. So we start with an extension. So really reaching through the tail and the head. We come back up. We're going to take the right leg, it's back into warrior 1. From warrior 1, we are just turning into this reach to the back, the happy warrior. And we're turning again, lengthening the front leg and reaching through the spine, tail and head. From here we come back up. We are swiveling round and we're going to reverse all of that. So we come into the pyramid. We then bend the front leg, arc over, turn into warrior 1. The arms come down. We step in and extend. And we come back up. So we're coming up to the thymus gland. I'm going to have a little tap here. It releases thymosin, which supports our immune system. We're taking the left arm up and we're bending it. The right arm down and bend. So the fingers may not touch, they may touch. See what's comfortable for you. If you find you're doing this and your fingers are touching, then let them go. So, and here, just pulsing the elbows back. And then changing to the other side. Releasing. Bending the knees. Folding over. Walking the hands out. And coming into your high cobra, or even possibly your lower cobra. From here, we push back, walk the hands in. And we're finding our high kneeling position. Fingers to the thyroid gland. It releases the hormone thyroxine for metabolism. We'll have a twist one way. Feel that this can come right from the tail the other way. Repeating. Releasing. The toes now curled under. We have the half camel. So reaching the arm up, down, possibly touching the heel, or it could be the back of the leg. And then the other one up, looking skyward. So you're opening the thyroid. Then we change to the other side. So it'll be the other arm that comes up, back to the leg or the heel. coming out, taking a pause. And then we relocate to sitting. We have the legs lengthened out. We're bringing the thumbs to the forehead, back to the pituitary gland. So it releases different hormones. Oxytocin is for birthing contractions. You have vasopressin, which helps the kidneys to regulate the body's water levels. You have TSH, which supports the thyroid. And thyroxine. We release, we bring the hands back, come to the upper, reach through the body, the hands, the lower arms. We are lengthening the head so that the forehead with the pituitary gland back in the brain is opened up to the sky. We're going to have a little movement here. We're going to soften the heart down, lift it up, and just play with the small curl. Next time the heart softens down, we're going to come out. We are bending the legs, lacing the fingers up onto the crown. The pineal gland. This is releasing melatonin, which allows us to have our balance of day and night, our light regulation, the 24-hour clock. So imagining this very small cone-like gland then we release the contact. We are swiveling round and we're coming into our downward facing dog, which directs the pineal gland to the earth, but without any contact with the earth. From here, we're walking the feet in, or the hands in first, whichever suits, and then very slowly rolling up through the glands. So we're going to flow some of the classic yoga positions that open up these glands and their respective hormones. So some we've done before. We're moving up again, so from the adrenal glands up to the pineal gland. We're starting wide, and we have, by turning the right foot at the left, we come into warrior two. So this classically opens up our root, the glands affecting this are the adrenals, so they're up much higher, so feel that support through them. All these positions have an opening yang sense. From here, we're coming into the triangle or the reproductive glands. We come back up. We have the twist again. It might be a small twist. It might be a big twist. You might take it into a reverse triangle. We come out of this, swivel back. Take a moment to feel how the left side is in comparison to the right. And then we'll come to the right side. So we're swiveling again to take us into warrior two on this side. We then have the triangle. We come out of this. Find our rotation. Possibly into the reverse triangle, hand on the leg. Some possibly even on the floor. And then coming out. Turning back. Coming in a little. Tuning into the right side of the body and how it feels. Then returning to a parallel position. Noticing how you're standing and how things might have changed from when we first started the session. So while you're doing this, I'm going to change my camera angle. I'm also going to take a drink. From the standing position, obviously you've lost quite a bit of me. Just slowly bring the chin to the chest And then roll on down through the glands. Until you come to hands and knees. So we're still with the classic yoga positions, the ones that open up the glands, the more yang. So we're moving now to the thymus, above the heart. We're going to take the hands forwards. We're going to come in and down. The legs could be a little bit apart. They could be closer together. And then we push back. We bring the knees in. We come to the high kneeling position again. You will lose my head. We're taking the hands to the lower back. Let the pelvis come forwards. And you notice that this gives you a back bend, a gentle one. And in your neck, you may notice that the thyroid gland is being opened. We find our way out of this. Coming back to our fish and the pituitary gland. So keep one leg bent to come into it. Down here. We are lengthening the neck. It's staying lengthened. The other leg can come down now. We're going to add to it. We're bending both knees. Take one leg up, lower, the other leg up, lower, possibly both. They bend. Keep one leg lengthened, the other bent. Come on up. So for the pineal gland, we're bending the knees, swiveling the leg back, and coming into our downward facing dog. From here, we lower the knees. We're in your comfortable hands and knees position. See what that might be. We're connecting all of the glands with our arcing up and down. So when you next come down, take an in breath. When you come up, allow an out breath. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. One more. In breath and out breath. We settle here. And we're transitioning now into the more traditional yoga positions that close down the glands. So they're more yin in nature. We're going to start at the pineal gland and work down to the adrenals. We're taking the hands a little wider. We're bending the elbows and bringing the crown of the head to the earth. And we're pressing the crown of the head down into the mat. For the pineal gland, the melatonin, the regulation of light, night and day, day and night. So being yin in nature, positions are going to take a little longer. And there's a sense of more contact with the earth to support the closure. So from here, some people explore headstands. We're not. We're going to push through the hands, come back to where we started, and then transition into the pituitary gland, which will have our oxytocin, vasopressin, and TSH, thyroid, thyroxine stimulating hormones. So the high child, forehead connected. So either choosing to have more conscious breath control, so creating in breaths, allowing out breaths, or you could tune in to whatever subtleties of movement that are in the torso created by your breath. So how can you be aware of your breath in this position? We're taking the forehead off a little, making our way down onto the front of the body and bringing the pituitary gland onto your hands. Closing down the contact with the hands close to the earth. Taking an in-breath, and on the out-breath, let the head roll one way. In-breath, it comes back to the center. Out-breath, the other way. So head rolling with breath awareness. The next time you come through the center, let go of the breath awareness. Then we allow the head to lengthen away and up, readjust the arms, and find a way to roll onto our back. So making yourself comfortable here. Bringing the fingertips now to the thyroid gland. It's release of thyroxine for your metabolism. To close it down, we're lacing fingers underneath the back of the head and take an in-breath. And on the out-breath, bring the elbows together. In-breath and out-breath. In-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, and just out-breath in this position. We're bringing the arms alongside the body. So the classic yoga position for closing down this gland is the bridge. And we're pushing through the feet, the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the head. We come up. Gently peeling down through the vertebra of the spine, around which the glands are organized. The sense of the head as being a very big vertebra at the top. We have another bridge. We're going to come up. This time we're going to lift a little more by lacing the fingers, bringing the shoulders a little bit more under by bringing the arms in. Notice how the thyroid is being closed. We are letting go of the hands and then very slowly rolling down through the vertebra. Checking that the chin is not too far tipped back. Anything a little bit towards the chest. We have one more bridge. So it's that push through the feet, hands, arms, shoulders, and head coming up. This time, we're choosing a leg, doesn't matter which one, lengthening it up. If that's not comfortable, just lift the heel. And we bring that back down through that heel lift and then lower. Your other leg, we'll start with the heel lift. You might stay there or you might lengthen up. Bring that down through the heel lift. The heel comes down and we roll on down through the vertebra. Here we're coming into the classical rest position, the corpse. We're pausing between the 3 lower glands to the upper ones. In this position, just let the toes have a little wiggle. Let that settle. Allow the legs to roll in and out a few times. Let that settle. Let the fingers wiggle and jiggle. And let then the whole of the arms roll in and out. Notice how from the fingers it connects right back into the shoulders. Let that settle. Bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart area. Either tuning into whatever breath movement you can feel underneath your hands, or taking an in-breath and allowing an out-breath so you feel that movement on a larger scale. Letting go of the breath awareness. Come to bend your knees. Let them bring you to the side, facing the camera. Then coming up to semi-sitting. And then sitting with the legs crossed and the left leg coming in front. So some of you will have quite high knees here. Some of you might be able to bring the foot onto the calf or even onto the thigh. So that would be your half lotus position. Some of you might be able to take the right foot and place it on top. So you find the range of movement that suits you. You have the spine growing up and down at the same time. So this is to close down the thymus. We are reaching the hands out and creating an extended fold. So rather than rounding the back, we're extending it. But the thymus is coming down towards the earth. For those that have a large range of flexibility, you could do this with the arms crossing behind and connecting with the toes. And then you come over. I would imagine most of us are more in the extended one for comfort. Bring that back up. Release, and we're going to try it on the other side, and this might be quite different depending on the organization in your legs. The right one is in front. Again, you could be up quite high, you might be lower, you might be able to bring the right foot onto the left calf, it might come onto the thigh. Some might even be able to bring the left on top. So again, we have this fold, thymus gland, releasing thymosin for the immune system. Again, for those very flexible people, there is the cross behind. We gently come out of this. Release. And we have twists for the pancreas with the glycogen, which prevents the sugar from dropping too low, and the insulin that prevents it from going too high. So we are going to cross the left leg over, and we're going to have a twist. We come back. This lengthened leg, you might be able to have a little play around with it. You might be able to bring it there, and then you have a deeper twist. If it's uncomfortable, then go back to the straight leg. We're returning. So, what was the bent leg on top? Now lengthens. The other leg comes over and we twist. So feel that you can twist right from the tailbone. So the whole spine is involved. We come back. The lengthened leg, we then bend, just have a little wiggle jiggle around of that until you might be able to get into a position that you can bend it also and twist again. But that's not for everybody. If not, stay with the straight one. and coming back. We're releasing. We're coming to sit off the sitting bones. This is to close down the reproductive organs, ovaries, testes, with their estrogen and testosterone. We are taking a fold. So you might notice that it closes these. So in the twist, we wrapped around and closed. And this one we're folding and closing. So possibly taking an in-breath here, allowing an out-breath. So when we stay longer in positions, we can be open to sensations that are happening. We can tune into our breath. And then drawing in the abdominals, curling up through the spine. And we come to our very last yoga position that will be connecting us in to the adrenals with the adrenaline, other hormones as well, but this is the one we've focused on today. It's the butterfly, or the cobbler pose. We find a comfortable position. So your feet might be quite away from the groin. It might be further in. It might be very close. And this is a kind of closing into the root, the pubis bone, the tailbone. Even though the glands, adrenals, are up above the kidneys, because of the connection, the kidneys all the way down to the bladder, you have this same kind of connection, that it's these glands connecting with the root of our torso. So you could have the hands connecting with the feet. They might be on the mat in front, they might be on the mat behind. If they're behind, you could see if you can bring them to the back of the adrenal glands and just have a sense of closing down of those through the arms. Here we'll take a breath in, allow a breath out, a breath in, out, in, and out. Releasing, readjusting to your more comfortable sitting position to finish. So again, legs could be long, crossed, somewhere where they're comfy and easy for you. We are growing both up to the sky, down to the earth, through the spine. We'll take a few rolls of the shoulders back and forth. Then, classic hand position, thumbs to the heart, thymus above this. So often regarded as the central gland, with 3 above, 3 below. The ones below more connected with the physical, and the ones above more with the metaphysical. Yeah, closing the eyes, tune into the messages of your body, what you're noticing, tingles, twitches, itches, warmth, coolness, weight, lightness, comfy, uncomfy. Being aware of the sounds around you through your ears. Feeling your environment through your skin. Resonating with the air temperature. Then softly opening the eyes to the light, colors and textures around you. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey with the hormones, or some of them. So you might be staying here and resting or exploring more. You might be transitioning. The skin is a very supportive transitioning place, kind of waking you up to a different energy. And I will again thank you for being with Harmonizing Hormones.